Pokemon Creepy Black, not to be confused with regular Pokemon Black. It was written before it. This pasta starts out. This guy says that he's an avid collector of bootleg Pokemon games, such as Pokemon Diamond and Jade, Chaos Black, and etc. Wait, there's already one version of Pokemon Black that's a bootleg? This is fucking great. He goes on to say that it's amazing with the frequency with which you can find them at pawn shops, Goodwill, flea markets. He says that they are generally fun and unplayable, and mistranslations cause them to be unintentionally humorous. He goes on to say that most of the games that he's played, he's been able to find online, but this one he hasn't been able to find, and he bought it at the flea market about 5 years ago. And he provides a picture of the cartridge in case anybody reading may recognize it. But he moved and lost the game, so he can't provide screen caps. How convenient, seriously. So he says it starts out like normal Pokemon Red and Blue, but the press start screen has been altered. Red was there, but the Pokemon did not cycle through. It also said Black version under the Pokemon logo. Upon selecting New Game, the game started the Professor Oak speech, and it quickly became evident that the game was essentially Pokemon Red version. Well, how do you know it wasn't Blue version, huh? Anyway, there was you get to choose either Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. There was another Pokemon, it was Ghost. No, the one from Lavender Town. Yeah, it's called Creepy for a reason. The Pokemon was level 1 and had the sprite of the ghosts that are encountered in Lavender Town before obtaining the Silph Scope. It only had one attack, which was Curse. There was a real move named Curse, but this attack did not exist in Generation 1, so it appears to be hacked in. Defending Pokemon were unable to attack Ghosts. They were too scared to move. When the move Curse was used in battle, the screen would cut to black, and the cry of the defending Pokemon would be heard, but it was distorted, and it played at a much lower pitch than the original. Ooh. The battle screen would then reappear and the defending Pokemon would be gone. If used in battle against a trainer, when the Pokeballs representing the Pokemon would appear in the corner, they would have one fewer Pokeball. The implication was that the Pokemon died. Okay, what? I don't see how that implies. That could just be a glitch because it's a ROM hack. But apparently it means they died. The author of this pasta is clearly not good at foreshadowing. Anyway, what was even stranger is the fact that after defeating a trainer and seeing Red received 200 Pokédollars for winning, the battle commands would appear again. If you selected Run, the battle would end as it normally does. But you could use Curse, and if you did, when you returned to the overworld, the trainer sprite would be gone. And then if you leaved and re-entered the area, the spot where the trainer had been would be replaced with a tombstone like the ones at Lavender Tower. What? Are you fucking kidding me? This is fucking terrible. Anyway, if the move Curse was not usable in all instances, and it would fail against Ghost Pokemon and the Pokemon of Revival or Giovanni because you had to fight them again, but the last time you fought them you could use it because you didn't have to fight them again. That was the gimmick. You could use Ghost and kill Pokemon. Yeah. It was a great gimmick. The game changed quite a bit after defeating the Elite Four. After viewing the Hall of Fame, which consisted of Ghost and a couple of Pokemon I used for HMs, the screen cut to black. A box appeared with the words "Many years later," then cut to Lavender Town. An old man was standing looking at tombstones. You then realized that this man was your character. Okay, how do you come to that conclusion real quickly? I mean, she says later on, but that you could control him, but when you're just looking at it, it wouldn't be that apparent. But the man moved at only half their normal walking speed. You no longer had any Pokemon with you, not even Ghost. At this point, it had been impossible to remove from your party through depositing in the PC. The overworld was empty and there were no people at all. There were still tombstones and the Curse people trainers. However, you could go pretty much anywhere in the overworld, though your movement was limited by the fact you had no Pokemon to use HMs, and regardless of where you went, the music of Lavender Town continued on an infinite loop. After wandering for a while, I found that you could go through Diglett's Cave. One of the cuttable bushes that normally blocks the path on the other side is no longer there, allowing you to advance and return to Pallet Town. On entering your house and going to the exact tile where you start the game, the screen would cut to black. A sprite, the author then goes to say that the sprite of a Caterpie appeared. Then it was replaced by a Weedle and a Pidgey. He soon realizes that as the Pokemon progressed from Rattata to Blastoise, that these were all the Pokemon I had used Curse on. Yeah, subtle. After the end of my Rivals team, a youngster appeared, then a Bugcatcher. These were the trainers that I had cursed. Throughout the sequence, Lavender Town music was playing, but it was slowly decreasing in pitch. By the time your rival appeared on screen, it was nothing more than a demonic rumble. Because it's spooky. Another cut to black, and a few minutes later, the battle screen suddenly appeared. The trainer sprite was now an old man, the same one who teaches you how to teach Pokemon in Viridian City. And then Ghost appeared, with the words, "Ghost wants to fight." You couldn't use items, and you had no Pokemon. If you tried to run, you couldn't escape. The only option was fight. Using fight would immediately cause you to struggle, which didn't affect Ghost, but did chip off a bit of your own HP. When it was Ghost who turned out, the game would simply say ellipses or dot dot dot. Eventually, when your HP reached a critical point, Ghost would finally use Curse. The screen cut to black one final time, and regardless of the buttons you press, you were permanently stuck in this black screen. At this point, the only thing you could do was turn the Game Boy off. And when you went to game, New Game was the only option, and the game had erased the file. I played through this hack game many times, even when the game ended with this sequence. Several times you didn't use Ghost at all, but it was impossible to remove from the party. In these cases, I did not show any Pokemon or trainers and simply cut to the climactic battle with Ghost. The author then goes on to say that he does not know what the motives of the creator of this hack were, since it wasn't widely distributed, so presumably not for monetary gain. But it was apparently a very well done bootleg. And it seems that he was trying to convey a message, but he acts as if he asked if he is the sole receiver of this message. And he asked whether or not there was some sort of symbolic meaning, or it was just a morbid injection of death and darkness into a children's game. He then goes on to say that this children's game has made him think, it has made him cry. Cried over bad pasta. I don't blame him.